Okay, so first you don't want to be spawning this object, so just delete all of this stuff here. You don't want any of that. And then do the same thing in here because you don't, oh, I guess it's not in here. You don't want to be spawning the object. That's why when you select both of them, that because it's spawning those and it's spawning them that much because this is set to have it whenever the global changes, it goes in, but this global is always being gotten from another source. I don't remember when. By the way, you should organize everything. I'll show you later on how I have my stuff organized so you could organize it because organization is good because then you can know where stuff is. Like all this stuff, it's hard to navigate through it. Like you have three of those guys. Anyway, so here, instead of spawning, you just want to create an object, and this can be labeled player1, player1, and then this object inside of it will have 4 bundles because there are 4 possible things that it could be. It could be the Dino 1, the Dino 2, Dino 3, 4, any one of those. And these bundles inside of them will have all the behaviors that you want that dino to have. So like the T-Rex might have like 5 attack, whereas the Spino has like 3 attack but faster attack speed, whatever you want. I don't know what you want to make those for, but inside these bundles you'll make the T-Rex, the Spino, the Indominus, and the Giganotosaurus. So then you're going to go here with the global variable. You're going to get filter, 4 filters because there's 4 dinos. And you're going to plug the global value in to these, and this is the player 1 dino, so you're going to select the player 1 global value, and then equal to, equal to, equal to, and equal to. So now you'll make this 1 for the T-Rex choice, 2 for the Spino choice, 3 for the Dominus choice, and 4 for the Giganotosaurus choice. Okay, and then here, if you go to behavior bundles, you can click an input. So now you can label this input enabled, and then you can make another input for disabled. And then now, when it passes as 1, when this value is 1, it will enable the T-Rex behavior. So T-Rex behavior. Okay, so that's the T-Rex behavior. I have my keyboard in Spanish. There. T-Rex behavior here. So, and then when it fails, it disables that. So then what you can do in here is like, you'll have all the logic for this, all the code, and you just have a switch that's turned on when it's enabled and turned off when it's disabled, and then have everything go to that switch. That nothing works if this switch is off. And then just do the same thing for all 3 of these. Just add those 2 inputs and then plug these into those, and then you make the things. And then what that'll do, oh, also, inside of the behaviors, make sure you have the properties animation, and then you'll pick the animation that you want. And then in here, you'll make like this. So you'll have the T-Rex for 1, Spino for 2, Indominus for 3, and Giga for 4. So that way, when you select it, it sends it to that frame. So you'll go enabled, go to animation, my animation, you'll name it like Dino selection or something. That way, when it's enabled, this global is a value. So it's sending the value 1 through here. And then that 1 is going past through the filter and into here. So it'll send that 1 right here to go to. So it'll go to frame 1 of the animation, and frame 1 is the T-Rex. And then same thing for here, here, and here, and here. You'll have the 2 here, 3 here, and 4 here, because that's the numbers that they correlate to. Yeah, you don't have to put any triggers into this because it's already always being got somewhere else. You can, because if it's not working, that could be it because the block's in a different level. But yeah, so this is what that looks like. And then you just do the same thing this is P1 Dino. And then you just make another block that's the exact same thing, except it's for player 2. And instead of the player 1 global, you have the player 2 global. And it has the same filters, the same bundles, everything else is the same. And you can have those right here. I don't know if you're planning on making them both if they're going on true together, but yeah, that's the essential idea. You don't want to be spawning them. These blocks already exist in the level. They'll be here, and when you here, I'll show you. Actually, I can't show you because it deletes stuff when I leave, but in the previous level, when you select a dino, it sets this global value to 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on if you selected the T-Rex, the Spino, the Indominus, or the Giga. And if you selected the spine or the Indominus in the previous level, this value is going to be 3. It's going to get this value 3, set it in, and it's going to pass this filter and fail all the other ones. So it's going to disable the T-Rex, the Spino, and the Giga behavior, and it's going to enable the Indominus behavior, while all the others will be off. And in that behavior, it'll have everything you want the Indominus to do, as well as playing the Indominus animation. So, yeah. That's the basic idea behind that and the character selection. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that's everything you asked for. The characters show up. Yes, just anything on the two blocks, remember the animation, and then inside of here, it plays that and goes to the frame. Yeah, that's all you have to do. And then here, oh yeah, I said I was going to show you how stuff organized. So, um, this stuff kind of scattered, and you have multiple instances of the same object that you don't need. You have this glass block, which I don't think is being used anywhere. So mainly just delete clutter, delete stuff that isn't being used, like these three. This guy doesn't have anything in him. He's just taking up space. Yeah, he's just taking up space. So you can delete that. And then here I have my game um, to folders, except for these two, because these I need quick access to. So everything's sorted. This is all the stuff related to the character. This is all the stuff related to blocks and like structure around the world. This is bosses. I have folders for them because they have a bunch of stuff. Buttons, only a few. Chests, all the chests you can interact with. Doors and enemies, all that good stuff. So everything's sorted and neat. And then even inside of the behaviors, everything's sorted into a bundle that's clearly labeled so you know like, oh, something's wrong with the inventory system. I need to go to the inventory system. So I'll click here and do something in here. And then bundles, you can have bundles inside of bundles to make things more neat because like if I had all this out here, it would be like a little cluttered. So you can keep things smaller. You have things like attacks, health and mana. I even in here have different bundles for both of those, you know. So just keeping everything organized and neat inside of bundles so that if you like, say you're working on your game and something like that's happening, all the things are just spawning nonstop and like this. And you're like, huh. Well, something's clearly not working, so what could it be? You can go through the options and then go back here. So when I first loaded this up, I had to like go through every block and figure out what was even spawning those things, and it took me a while, but I finally found it's right in here. So you just want to make sure things are clearly labeled so that you can access them easily and find them easily, because that'll make things like 100% easier, 100% faster, if you know where everything's already at. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, to being used for anything, you could delete that. And to delete an object, you just click the delete all button. But you have to make sure you're in the library. If it's on the level and you try to click delete all, it won't show up because it's in the game. So you just have to click the delete all button in here and that'll get rid of it. So only use the objects that you need, and especially, um, yeah, since you're using the free version, you only get 50 objects that you can use before you can't make any more. So you have to be really picky with what you're allowing to exist in your game and be very um, conservative with how you're using your things. So, like, and also I'm just doing that because I like to be things neat, but um, yeah. So everything, only use the things that you need, and also background objects count. So like it looks like these two are like the same thing, and in here you only need one. So you can delete one of those and only use one. I don't think you have any. Oh, you have a few things in the UI, but that isn't that. Yeah, you already have that, so you don't need it. So just delete all the objects that you're not actively using. So like for right now, I think you only need like 10 objects for this game. You have this dirt here, which honestly, if you want to be really, if you want to save more, you just replace this dirt with like the grass or the background sand, because that'll save an object space. And then you can go here. You only need the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10. Yeah, you only need 10 objects in this game right now, and you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, you only 10 away from the limit, so you can just delete all the stuff. You don't need this. You don't need this. Oh, actually, you did need that, but you don't need this. Oh, wait, you have. No, okay. You have different. These are separate objects. You don't need separate objects for the player selection. You can use this one here and here. So this one can be used here and here. So that'll cut those amounts of objects in half. So you can like use this one here and that one here and this one here. So you only need one because these aren't important. These don't have any behaviors. They're just display, right? This one is the only thing that needs to be unique because this selects for player 1 and this selects for player 2, and this displays player 1 selection and this displays player 2 selection. So these ones, they don't need separate objects. These are just for display. And if you want to save even more, what you can do is you can go to these objects and make it all just one object. And based on what its position is, you can send it to a certain frame of an animation that'll play. So like you could set it up with display Dino. You could set it up so that I deleted everything, but T-Rex 1, the usual, the thing we've been doing with everything else. And I make it to where if it's at this position, it'll display T-Rex. If it's at this position, Spino, Indominus, so on and so forth. And then you can make it to where over here it has an OR block. So if it's displaying this position or this position, it will display the Spino. And the OR is right here under Logic and Math. If you go to Logic Gate and then select OR, but yeah, so that's how you could save even more stuff. So that way, if you do that, you're only using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 objects instead of the 40 something you have here. So yeah, saving space is important, being organized is important, and then that part is how you do the dino selection thing. Yeah, I think that's everything, plus a little more for your question. So yeah.